Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of Finn React. Michael here. Today we are reacting to a classic what I grew up with that many people don't understand or watch the new series, which I don't watch. Power Rangers. Now, throughout the time, Power Rangers started in Japan, which was brought over to the US, where we had American actors play Japanese fighters. Now, there's a huge difference between the Japanese versions and the American versions, but the American does have a way of making intros better. So, we're going to watch every single opening to Power Rangers from the classic Mighty Morphin, which I grew up with, to Cosmic Fury. You know it's bad when they come up with ideas like that, but anyway, let's watch it. This is actually the first opening to the first ever episode of Power Rangers, which is very weird. Wow. Okay, and if anyone ever watched the original pilot episode, you can probably find it on YouTube, but I never watched on TV until one time, and it was the most craziest transition of like what it was and what it was supposed to be and what we got now. I'm kind of watching on Netflix right now, the original stuff, but this is very interesting. Amy Jo Johnson, everyone's first crush. Walter Jones. Audrey DuBois. She only lasted one episode before we got Trini. Rest in peace, Trini. May God rest on your soul. And a young David Yost. Holy shit. Go Power Rangers. Even the setup, I mean, Alpha looked different, Zordon looked different. You know, it's weird to watch this, is that the intro is the same, but it's just crazy how one episode changed from that to what we got in 1993. I will admit, I think a lot of the young people who watch Power Rangers now wouldn't understand a damn thing what Mighty Morphin was back then. And what's funny is that everyone always thought like the voice acting cover for most of these videos that they played was just so mind-boggling. We didn't think about that. But now when you look at it, you're like, holy shit, it is so off. Ready to escape. One of my first favorite games growing up for the Super Nintendo was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Just saying. See, it's different from the original first episode. Austin St. John. See, this is a Trini we had. Thoi Trang, rest in peace. Now I'm gonna pause for a second. Now watch. Now, in the original American episode, they showed them with their weapons. Now, there was not any point throughout the series in the American version that they were using their weapons as fighting. But in Japanese, the Japan version, they were using their weapons regularly, which is weird. Rest in peace, Jason Frank. Dragon Zord. The most OGest looking thing ever. Now, I liked Mighty Morphin. Now, I'm going to divide the season 1 differently. Season 1 brings that vibe of memorization that everyone in 1991 drew, at least before the Disney took over. Everyone knew the theme song of Power Rangers. That's, to me, it's a 10 out of 10. Now, this is season 2, partially part 1, as they say. Now, the only reason why this is part 1 is that they changed the intro halfway through the season when they introduced the new Rangers of Aisha, Adam, and Rocky. And there's a lot of backstory to this whole scenario out, but the first few episodes, you had the original OG before the takeover. In my opinion, I kind of understand the story of what happened, but I will have to do that in another video where we look at Power Ranger theories and questions and things that happen. But let's just continue on with the intros. Amy Jo Johnson. Zach definitely changed up his hairstyle throughout the season. So did Tommy did too. Lord Zed. Comment below, guys. Who did you prefer during Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Rita or Lord Zed? Lord Zed, I think, was more entertaining. I did like the Thunder Zord. I will admit, the Thunder Zord was actually kind of cool. Now, if you take the original Thunder Zord and the Dino Zord, that'd be a great debate to see which one was better. But for some reason, I think this intro only did the first 4 episodes before they actually changed it to part 2. Now, in a way that Season 2 came along with the new Rangers and Tommy getting a brand new Power Ranger form and Megazord, it was a complete transition of getting the new season, because there was another season that used the Thunder Zords in Japan, and there was a little kid that basically was the Tommy of the group. And what's interesting about it is that it's weird to see the transition from Jason being the leader to Rocky being the leader. You think by now with Kimberly and Billy and Tommy being the OGs, they could have changed it, but in a way, I guess they couldn't. So I would have to give this still a solid 10 out of 10 because I grew up with this show. Now this is season 3 and it in a way, I think too, I hate cutting this off, but it is so weird to see more Rita be more of an American version compared to her Japanese version. But this was also a big change because everyone's true crush back then, Amy Jo Johnson, was leaving Power Rangers. And then we got Kat, which people had mixed opinions with, but that was actually honestly okay. She's so cute. I mean, I'm fine with it. David Yost. He looks like he gets older, but his face still looks young. Same thing with Tommy for some reason. And it's weird to see a transition of what happened to Bulk and Skull. They went from fighting the Rangers to becoming police academy cadets. And then they just changed a lot with them throughout the rest of other seasons. Now this is a brand new intro song. I'll explain. Now, throughout season 3, there was a movement where I guess Rita and Zed transformed the Rangers and everyone else in the world to kids. And that would brought another galaxy world of alien Rangers. Now, alien Rangers in Japan were just almost ninjas, which was kind of cool. There was a whole backside that was fucking awesome. But anyway, I will admit that the using the same song kind of is cheating in a way back then. But, you know, it's what they could do. It has the vibe, but I don't like it. I mean, Billy actually grew up. Now, I would have to give Alien Ranger intros a 9 out of 10 because of the fact that they're using the OG intro. It's just the alien part's kind of the one that kind of rubs off weirdly. Ah, Zeo. Do 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 do. And now this is when Tommy was the official leader of the group. Rocky went from being the leader to the side. And they brought back Jason, which was actually kind of cool. Detective Stone. Now, Zeo to me was way different. It was kind of weird and just getting used to the new season. The intro was alright. It wasn't my favorite compared to Mighty Morphin, but the show was actually pretty good. So, the intro I would have to give it at least an 8 out of 10. Ah, Turbo Rangers. Now, if you guys seen the movie, this is the plot base of the movie. And I had this on VHS. And I will admit, Turbo movie was very crazy. The fact that they were doing another Power Ranger movie after the first one. But based on Turbo. So let's continue on. Now we'll watch the second one because it's... Well, I'll explain. New people, except Justin. Blake Foster, what a G. TJ! And this is when they got rid of Ernie too, which is very disappointing. Now, Turbo was intro. I would have to give this at least a 9 out of 10. It was weird that the fact that they did the whole transition of like, if you haven't seen the movie, I can't really spoil it, but the TV show kind of reflects in a way. Rocky actually is not the Blue Ranger. They got Justin Blake Foster, who is a G in both Power Rangers and MMA. But in a way, they kind of, made this whole different. And the fact of the matter is based on cars. And they had 2 Special Rangers, the Phantom and the police dude. It was actually kind of good. But the way that they got rid of Ernie was very disappointing. I mean, I enjoyed it, but the whole changing the characters of halfway through the season, it threw people off. It just like, you know what? Tommy's gone. Kat is gone. Tanya's gone. Adam's gone. Now we got Ashley, Carlos, Cassie, TJ. Justin's still there. Why not? But overall, it's not bad. This is definitely a 10 out of 10 for the song intro. Bulk and Skull is still hanging in there after almost 4 different seasons of Power Rangers, which is nuts. Now I do, funny part is too, I hate it, to cut off halfway. Hold on. I actually did have the silver Megazord growing up. It was actually kind of cool, that one. But Power Rangers into Space was one of my favorite seasons because of the whole time he did the Shadow Rangers, or the technically Shadow Rangers. The Shadow Rangers what made the show good. Now people will say, what about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episode? That was pretty intense. No. That's when Turtles was just trying their best to make a new TV show, and it just add the female, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, we got Turtles. Okay, I grew up with the cartoons. What the hell am I watching? But this is also Saban's closure to the end of their run, and it's just they're pushing as much effort they can. And Power Rangers Space is actually in the category of my favorites compared to Mighty Morphin. So, but the Shadow Rangers, I think, what made the episodes great, because it was like, okay, we actually have evil Power Rangers kind of mutant things going against regular Rangers. And even with the appearances of both Justin and Adam, it made the show actually good. I think Lost Galaxy is next. Ten out of 10. Intro was so good. Away deep in space, tear it down and see you go. Valerie. Kendrick was hot back then. Mike. Oh yeah, she did come back. And see that I was saying. Bulk and Skull still makes appearances throughout the season, except they dropped Skull and just kept Bulk for some reason. I will admit also, I wasn't a big fan of the battleizers they did for Lost Galaxy. It just looked bulky and heavy on the person. But overall, this is one of my top three favorite seasons because they did a lot with this. They brought back the Shadow Rangers. They involved Death, not just once, twice. They brought Death twice to the Pink Ranger and Mike. And the fact that they brought them back alive and all this was going on, and there were so much things going on behind the scenes, it made the season good. There was just a lot. People may think, okay, they threw up everything. No, they didn't throw up everything on there. They tried their best to make it good. And there's nothing bad about it. I enjoyed the shit out of the Lost Galaxy. Ryan, I forgot Ryan. This was the season that was interesting about. Not my favorite Yellow Ranger. Ooh, Miss Fayweather was hot. Okay, Lightspeed Ranger intro obviously would mean it's a 7 out of 10. Now, this season was very interesting in a way. They brought a lot of family drama with both Ryan, Dana, and the captain. But I had the video game for PlayStation back then. The PlayStation game wasn't that bad. The Nintendo one I heard was terrible. But to me, this was actually a good season. I think this is almost the end of it before they... I think Time Force was the last of Saban's before it went to Nickelodeon and Disney. But hold on, let's watch it. We're getting to some of the good ones. Time Force. Jason Font is an OG. Okay, I'm sorry to pause halfway, but God, people don't give enough credit to Katie for the Yellow Rangers. People forget about Katie when it comes to Yellow Rangers. I'm sorry. If you known her from the show, how tough she was and how she handled most of the guys, she was probably one of the toughest Yellow Rangers that was out there. I had to put her up in my top 10, my favorites. Very underrated. And very underrated Blue Ranger, Lucas. Okay, so we're getting to the end where Disney started buying more. I get confused because Nickelodeon eventually does, but here's the thing when it comes to Time Force. The intro obviously is a 10 out of 10 banger, but the show I think was very, very interesting. I never played the video game, so I don't know what the video games were like. So now we're getting to the parts where people stopped watching Power Rangers, which is very weird. And I will admit that from Lost Galaxy to Wild Force, these battleizers for the main Rangers looked terrible. I'm sorry. Debate against me, guys. These ones were terrible. She got hotter throughout the season. Still one of my favorites. Princess Shayla. Okay, so obviously this is the part where Disney started taking over. Now, intro, I will give it a fair 9.5 out of 10. The show was actually not bad. People really gave it a really bad rep, but I think they did good. And the fact that it was a little bit different. Now, Japan one blew it out the roof compared to the American version. They actually included death in those ones. But I will admit, I liked Wild Force, and I think after Ninja Storm, I stopped watching it. I had to go back for research months after it. But I did watch Ninja Storm, so I do like Ninja Storm. Heavy bass with the guitar. Let's go. Underrated Green Ranger. Now, I should have cut off earlier, but see, this is the intro. 9.5 out of 10 I would give. The show was good, and then you know what? A little bit after was like they tried too hard, I think. But now we're going to the point where I stopped watching Power Rangers for a very, very long time, and this is where it starts getting a little bit, you know, weird to me. Intro, I will have to give this song a 10 out of 10. I like this intro song. Tommy was, this is, and what's interesting is they brought back Tommy. This is the one thing that they were trying to do to get people to go back to this. This is when Disney was not doing well with Power Rangers, so they said, you know what? Let's bring Tommy back and see if all the original people will actually go back to watching it. It was a 50-50. A lot of people did, a lot of people didn't. And the fact of the matter is that they kept trying with the whole 3 Ranger crew. I'm sorry, I know Japan did it back then, but, you know, we grew up with 5 Rangers and then added a 6th Ranger. Now you're just adding 3 Rangers and extras. Just go back to the whole 5 original members. And the problem is, I think, is that a lot of people also were getting tired with, after they hit Dino Thunder, people are like, we just did something with dinos in 1993. What's with bringing back the dinosaurs? What was the point of that? And that's what kind of a lot of some of them got a little bit repetitive in a way. I mean, my own point, it's like SPD was the same way. They brought SPD when they did something like that with Lightspeed Rescue. I mean, it was different for what it was worth, but it just, to me, just seemed unentertaining. The characters were just very boring after that. I was going to say, I mean, were they trying to do something different? Okay, we're going to make, these young guys become cadets. And then they try to do the whole thing with A Squad versus SPD. In a way, it just got really, really boring. Is this in my top 10? Possibly. Wait, wasn't there something like... I think there was a controversy with the Yellow Ranger for this one.
She's a porn star!
I have to look back into this. And they did a thing too with the fact that they made the Blue Ranger eventually a Red Ranger, like halfway, and then later on in the other Power Rangers, the Green Ranger was the Red Ranger. No one can just be one Red Ranger. Instead, they're three. Why wasn't the women's a Red Ranger? Oh wait, they did do a Red Ranger female. Spoiler alert! People never watch the show. Now, I will admit the battleizer for this looks very obnoxiously annoying. Now, SPD wasn't my favorite season. The song intro, it just seems like we've heard something like this before, so it was kind of my least favorite intro songs. 5 out of 10, but I did like Mystic Force's opening song. But I think the show was very, very stupid. This is also what Disney was trying to do to get people to watch their stuff. Also, I will admit, this is another season where the characters that... I mean, eventually, I like the fact that SPD brought back the 5 Rangers, but SPD and Mystic Force had the most blandest Rangers out there. I didn't like any of them. They had no personality. Name me one person from each season that stand out the best. Comment below. I'll be waiting. I mean, Chip was a dork. He's like me. And who the fuck is this guy? Claire was the only thing entertaining about this show. I think in a way they tried too hard for this one. So, like I said before, this is where the point where Disney Power Rangers started depleting to the point where people didn't watch this. And the next season will explain exactly how I feel why I stopped watching this stuff. I hate this intro. It's already a 4 out of 10. I hate this. Okay, Operation Overdrive was one of the worst seasons of Power Rangers. People who enjoyed Operation Overdrive, you must have been really into this when this is probably your first Power Ranger you got into. These are the most blandest characters, blandest story, blandest additional Ranger, and even the Once a Ranger episode, they tried so hard. Terrible Japanese version, they used better Rangers. I mean, they tried so hard to bring Adam back, but it just didn't work. And that's why I think people started hating Power Rangers. But then they kind of got back into it. I will admit, they actually did try in Jungle Fury. I will give this one also another 10 out of 10 for intros. Now, I will admit, Jungle Fury did give me a little bit of chance to go back to it. It wasn't that bad. It was just to the point that I think there's a lot of things they did added on. It was like very obnoxious, like extra Rangers, like extra storyline. I think they tried too hard, but it was one way they tried to make it even more reasonable to watch. And then after that, it just started going down to shit. This is just like my opinion of Operation Overdrive. If you enjoyed RPM, I'm sorry, it was the most pathetic season ever, and I think this is the point where this is the end of Disney going into Nickelodeon. Taking control of our world. But there is still one place. I give it a 5 out of 10 with the intro. I think they did too much, and then after that, it was just like, you know what? We're tired of this stuff. Here's the crap load of Power Rangers. Make something out of it. When it's only sad when the Blue and Green Ranger, to me, was the most entertaining thing about the show. Now, before we go on to this, yes, technically, we did do Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. I'm not going over this. But Disney decided to try to do a way to make Power Rangers come back, the Mighty Morphin, to attract more people, but make it more friendly, kidlier version. No. Why? You had the perfect thing, and then you decided to dump on it. Why? This was terrible. Well, the laugh is actually the only thing entertaining about that one. Okay, now, this is the point where Disney ruined Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It just took a turd and basically ruined every childhood memory of people who watch Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. And now we're at the point where Nickelodeon decided to take over Power Rangers. And they think they can do it better. In my opinion, they made it the same way as Disney did. Shit. Now, these intros, I think, to me, are very poor and badly set up. But the problem is, it seems like they took a little bit from the Mighty Morphin music and made it their own way. But the problem is, like, a lot of these seasons were just, obnoxious. Samurai was just another Ninja Storm, and Super Mega Force decided to take every single Ranger and put it together. And to me, once again, you get bland characters and their poor attempt to make everything better. But in reality, they made it worse. And Disney made it better than Nickelodeon. I think Nickelodeon took a major dump on the Power Rangers. See, I want to give Samurai a number 1 for intros because it was just a rip-off. And it's funny, one time we'll finish that sentence. Number 1 out of 10 because it was just Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and let's just throw our little poo magic on it. And it's funny that they show Derek, who ended up going to jail for murder. Cole, we all know. See, even though Saban brought back ownership of Power Rangers, Nickelodeon did not do well for this. Wait, Clash of the Red Ranger, the movie? What the fudge is... Wait, that was a movie? Oh, this was their poor attempt for a crossover. Oh yeah, this is when crossovers started to suck even worse. Can we move on? I don't want to watch this.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
I'm sorry, guys. It's the same shit. We all seen it. It's just, let's add the SPD. Not the SPD, the RPM Red Ranger. Ooh. Now, here's the thing. They decide to take Samurai and just add the word super to it. Does it make it more exciting? No. 1 out of 10 for copyright issues to me. And then they did this whole shit, the fact they're making the Red Ranger a female, and you know what? This guy can go away, but he comes back. Nickelodeon did not need to buy it. And the fact that they brought a battleizer that everyone used, they passed it along like COVID, it was just terrible. Okay, and I will admit, they tried to bring back Bulk into it, but Spike was the worst personality. They should have just brought Skull back and do something different. By the way, Decker's in jail. Murder. I thought his name was Derek. Now, yeah, Super Samurai is so exciting. So, we just ruined Samurais. Let's ruin another series, Megaforce. See, I will admit they at least tried to make different intro for this. I will give this a generous 3 out of 10. But once again, Megaforce was just another turd Nickelodeon decided to put on the Power Ranger series. Also, they should have not brought back a variation of Ernie, because they just ruined everyone's vibe of who Ernie was back in 1993, by the way. And I'm sorry, guys. These, also again, just like Samurai, most of these Rangers, the most blandest characters that they make these characters become, because they just all sucked with personality. They had no personality. So this is Super Megaforce. What's the difference? Let's add pirate theme to it. Ooh, so exciting. And what's better, that these guys had the ability to become any ranger they want. And also, I didn't understand the whole logic between them switching from black to green ranger. Made no sense. Okay, the worst Red Ranger has to definitely go to Troy. Debate me on this one. I will admit, Troy is in the top 5 worst Power Ranger Red Rangers. Who the fuck is Orion?
He's a dick!
Where the fuck did he come from? Okay, so clearly this was a weird one because they also tried to do cameos of like different Rangers and it just didn't work. And now we're going to what listen, I will admit Dino Charge actually was a better theme song than most of the Nickelodeon versions, so I'll give it a generous 6 out of 10. But to me, I had zero understanding what Dino Charge was. You had already the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You had Disney's Dino Thunder. Let's take Dino and make it Nickelodeon. Why? Just why? Okay, I will actually change my mind. Dino Charge music was definitely a 9 out of 10. I actually did enjoy Dino Charge music. The show, I could say a lot differently, but people consider this guy a top 10 Red Ranger. I don't know. He just seemed very weird. Okay. And then after that, they decided to do Dino Supercharge. I'm sorry. Adding Super to the show does not make it better. They should just do Samurai. I'm forgetting what the other one was. Mega Force. Dino Charge. Don't add Super. It doesn't make it super exciting. It makes me want to super turn the TV off and watch something else. I feel like they tried too hard. Seriously, adding Super does not make it better. They need to stop doing that. Make a Power Ranger super. Don't worry, we're coming up with more supers. Now we're going back to let's decide to invade the West Coast and do more with the Japanese vibe of ninjas. Because after all, we've done ninjas already. Why not? The intro, I will also give this a 7 out of 10. It's different. They finally realized that copying things back in 1993 does not work. Another sucky Red Ranger. way too long for it to be an intro. They should have cut it halfway. Okay. Ninja Steel, they tried again way too hard and brought back cameos that honestly they tried. Wait. Hold on. Guys, am I the only one that's seen this? Hyperforce? The fuck is Hyperforce? Did I miss a season? I never heard of Hyperforce. Seriously? What the shit?
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Time out a second. Did I just see Christina V? First of all, I see Christina V. I see Bulk. What the fuck? Peter Sederos? Who the fuck is this guy? Christina V. I love her music. She did Power Rangers? When the fuck did that ever happen? See, Paul Scheer as Jack. You are Bulk. Never ever be someone else. Strawberry 7. Is this YouTube attempt to try to make Power Rangers watchable again? Who the fuck is Strawberry 17? Andre Meadows? Oh, I like him. He's actually really good on YouTube. What the fuck is he a Power Ranger for? Malika Lim? What the fuck is wrong with fucking... It's like, take a shit and just put more shit on top of shit. This is ruining things. The good thing this never happened. Power Rangers all relation logos. You guys fucking ruined it. Copyright bullshit. And now, once again, we're back to Ninja Steel. Just add Super to it. Just make Ninja Steel Season 1, Season 2. Why the fuck do you have to add Super to this stuff? God, this stuff sucks. And I'm trying so hard to be so nice to this. This is terrible. Once again, this is just what I was saying before. Adding the word super does not make it better. I'm sorry, guys. It doesn't. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Now we're on Beast Morpher. I will admit Beast Morpher intro is actually a little better. But Beast Morpher just seems like a way off of ideas of taking other Rangers and taking other TV shows like Big Bad Beetleborgs and Beast shit and decide to make it good. At least they don't do Super, hopefully. Even though these are the most blandest characters yet again. Okay, now they just, they made the intro just quick to the point. That's what I like about it. Quick to the point. Don't build up from it. Don't make it long. Just get to the point of Beast Morpher and let's get on with the 30-minute show. Oh god, this is not... They didn't add Super to this. Thank fuck for that. How much more do we got for this? God, I feel like this is way too much. They're trying way too hard. I think this is the end of it, hopefully. It says Cosmic Fury, but we're almost at the end. Thank God. Once again, dinosaurs. Nickelodeon hasn't done it yet. Let's do it. Intro, I will give it a fair 6 out of 10. They change out the music, but it's just... These characters are just odd. Agree to disagree with my statement. I just think that these characters in Dino Fury On are the most odd characters ever, and they just kept the characters. Okay, so they stopped doing Super. Thank you, they listened to my requests. A Netflix... The fuck did they move to Netflix? I will admit, the Battleizer for Dino Fury, for the Red Ranger, probably one of my few favorite Battleizers. Once and Always. Oh, this is a movie! Even though that, the Green Ranger doesn't appear in this movie. Why? How many actually like the Once and Always movie? Comment below. Was it on a scale between the first Power Ranger movie to the one that they tried to make of Mighty Morphin Power Ranger shitty Halo costumes? Where does Once and Always land? Comment below. Cosmic Fury, once again, will go down to another... I think, to me, it goes down to a 1 out of 10 because they just copied Dino Fury. But they actually made the Red Ranger a female. You know what? Gender equality, people. They always can do that. Sorry. Billy, were you involved in this poop shoot? Did you fucking ruin Power Rangers? Lord Zed? Why? Just why? Oh, that was a headache of a fucking watchable thing. I don't know how to feel anymore. I'm gonna do some more research about Power Rangers, but obviously, what started good got stuck in the toilet and just couldn't get out of it. Comment below, what was your favorite Power Ranger season? We're going to go more in depth with Power Rangers, but what was your favorite season? And why was it not? And if you say it's Operation Overdrive, you're banned. Anyway, if you enjoy stuff like this, comment below. If you enjoy stuff like this, please subscribe, like the video. As always, thanks for watching. This is Michael, morphing out.